Hello everyone, I'm Santiago and today I'm gonna be testing Cyberpunk 2077 on the Steam Deck. So it's been a while since I wanted to check this out. It's now Steam Deck verified and it has FSR 2.1, so I think it's super interesting that we can run it on the Steam Deck. By default the maximum FPS is 30 with this value here. We're going to try that later. For now, let's focus on the graphics. There's a preset called Steam Deck, which I wasn't expecting. That's pretty good. Then we got FSR 2.1 on auto. I've been checking it out and it seems to be quality, so I'm going to put it on quality. And there's a very nice, I wish every game had this, image sharpening for FSR. I'd like to crank it up a little bit higher. That should be good. FOV 80 degrees. On a handheld, 80 degrees is fine. Depth of field on, lens flare on, motion blur on high. I mean, motion blur at 30 frames I think is okay, at least in this game. If you want to disable it, you can. Contact shadows, basically medium to high settings, which is pretty impressive if you ask me. I think there are some things that we could tweak, but let's first play with Steam Deck settings and let's see how CDPR did on this one. So let's open the menu. I'm using a mouse and keyboard just for comfort. Yes, we confirm the changes. So on the Steam Deck settings, outside we're at 30 frames. Yeah, the motion blur is just too much. I don't like the motion blur. I'm sorry guys, I gotta turn it off. Motion blur looks terrible. I don't like it at all. Oh yeah, way better. Personally, I will lock it to 30. Just to make it run better on the CPU side. I mean, the CPU is chugging along. But hey, it looks pretty good, considering it's a portable machine. The thing is, it's still dropping below 30. Let me check very quickly if the auto setting is below quality FSR. Okay, we're on auto FSR now. It feels a little bit... I feel the latency on this one. The driving feels odd now. Yeah, so I made a mistake. It wasn't quality FSR 2, it was balanced, which looks pretty similar. But still we seem to be massively, apart from the GPU, CPU limited. But it's a 15 watt TDP machine. So yeah, interesting. I'll probably do a couple tweaks on this. I don't know, I don't like the settings that CD Projekt Red put in here. I think it's a little bit too much. I mean, you're mostly into the upper 20s, but the controls don't seem super responsive. Let's go back. Yeah, I don't know what's wrong with the controls. Anyway. So far so good. Usually in the 30s, but it drops. So let's do a few tweaks. Since I've seen this menu so many times, let's do FSR quality. Let's maintain 30. 40 is maybe later, we'll try. First things first, let's lower all this to medium. The cascaded shadows range and resolution, we could lower this, but let's keep it there. Distant shadows should be fine. Volumetric fog, low. Volumetric clouds, off. This is a portable machine. Dynamic decals on medium. Reflections, low looks fine. It's more... it looks worse, the reflections. There's more graininess to them, but that's fine. Again, portable machine. Subsurface scattering should be fine. Ambient occlusion, low looks the same. Color precision, medium, because there's no low, but it basically looks the same. Mirrors, medium, and LOD on medium. So basically, medium settings with distance shadows on high. Not much else to do here. And this is fine, in my opinion, at least in most computers. And one other thing I forgot to mention, on gameplay, there's crowd density and HDD mode. I'll keep it on. And crowd density is on low, which is good, helps the CPU, but apparently still not enough, which is interesting. Anyway, let's go back. And I'm going to get out of the mouse and keyboard. I think it doesn't work well for some reason. I think it's mapped to a controller. Okay, yeah, this is way better. We have a higher resolution, which is good, on the quality FSR, and we get less drops below 30. But I'll probably do what CDPR did and lock the frame rate to 30 so the CPU doesn't suffer so much and takes our frequency out of the GPU, because the 15 watts need to be shared between the GPU and the CPU. So the 30 frames lock I think is essential on this one. So I won't even try 40 FPS on this one. It's not possible. The CPU requirements are just too dang high to maintain consistent 40s, I mean. You can lower the resolution as much as you want, but if the CPU is not enough, we're kinda screwed. Okay guys, so we're back with the Steam Deck settings. I don't know why by default it uses high textures, but whatever, that's just odd. Again, it will be a lower pixel count. Auto seems to be between balance and quality. Then I'm just turning off motion blur because personal preference. Then the Steam Deck preset. On video we're locked to 30 frames, borderless windowed, 1280 by 800, low crowd density and HDD mode on. And no tutorials. Anyway, let's go back into the city, and after that we are going into one of the fighting areas. But the biggest issue, at least in my opinion, would be the traversal in the city, because we're CPU bound there. So as you can see, the CPU and the GPU are battling it out. And it's not amazing, but this has better visuals on the graphics side in comparison to my custom settings, but the resolution is lower. The thing with the lower resolution though, which is interesting, in this case I'll probably use the lower resolution because the Steam Deck screen is very tiny. So I think you can get away with it, and you're not going anywhere close 40 FPS. I mean, the CPU demands are just way too high, especially when driving. I mean, look at this. So let's do a little bit of fighting very quickly. There we go. And we're going into another location. Well, I'll say it's playable. I wasn't expecting something like this to be verified. It's kind of interesting, because this will be basically what you get by default if you launch the game without any prior knowledge on how to tweak anything. So I find that pretty interesting. But I guess the average person is not going to notice or open the FPS counter. But it's portable Cyberpunk, so who am I to complain? Anyway, so as you can see outside with combat, it's mostly okay. The thing is driving. Driving is the biggest culprit. So let's go to one of those missions in the beginning just to have some minor combat encounters. Let's go. So the very first one.
What are we
Xander Dorset's protecting it.
Yeah, whatever.
Then the holes I hid. Probably the quiet theme.
Here we come. Hey, sir. We're just killing everyone. Let's see the famous section.
On your toes. More bodies incoming.
On your toes. Yeah, sure. I'm on my toes, alright. And this part is so much better. Which is obvious, we're not even CPU limited. Like in the open world.
No way. Not neither.
So yeah. I remember playing this when it first released at 20 FPS in this area. It's kinda nuts to see how much they fixed it. I still cannot believe it came out in December 2020. I think it was. That's insane. It's been so long. I feel old talking like that. Let's equip this one. Cool. So yeah, you're going to get drops in CPU bound scenarios, probably in the first cutscene as well, because there's a big mirror.
Don't see any movement on the sensors.
But otherwise it's fine, it's playable, and it looks good,
Shit, where the hell's our
which
target?
blows my mind,
Look around. Gotta
actually.
be there somewhere.
Let's blow up more of this wall. Yeah, the GPU can actually take it. So what's the biggest issue with this? I would say the CPU. The GPU can take care of it. An FSR 2, wow, looks amazing. I'm so happy they added FSR 2. It was necessary. So, between my two settings, personally I would just go for the Steam Deck settings and disable motion blur. That's basically it. My settings, which is lower, is medium to low instead of medium to high, mostly high. Increases the resolution because I'm on quality FSR in that case. Here it seems to be balanced FSR or a little bit lower, not sure exactly, it's on automatic. But on the Steam Deck screen you're probably not going to notice the resolution difference. So you have those two options. Personally the image quality still good on both. So it's all up to you. 40 FPS, forget about it. You can do it indoors, but once you get outside, good luck, or in combat. So yeah, Cyberpunk, portable Cyberpunk. Mind blown. Although I was expecting more consistent frame rates when driving around, due to the fact that it's verified, but still, verified doesn't mean much, I guess. It means that it's not going to be below 30 all the time, I guess. Anyways, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see ya next time. Bye guys.